Welcome back to a brand new PTCG live video. Today I'll be showcasing Great Tusk Mill with the newly released set Mega Evolution. So with that being said, let's get into the deck list. Let's see which new cards we'll be running. So we do run all 4 copies of the single prize Great Tusk here, and we're only going to be using that first attack, the land collapse, for the 2 colorless energies. We can discard the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you play the Ancient Supporter card from your hand during this turn, you have to discard 3 additional cards with this attack. So the whole strategy of this deck will be to mill all of your opponent's cards so that they lose to decking out. And then we do run a 2-2 pair of the Solrock and Lunatone here for that Lunar Cycle ability. Once during your turn, if you have Solrock in play, you can discard a Fighting Energy card from your hand to draw 3 cards. And you can't use more than 1 Lunar Cycle ability each turn. And then we do have the 1 copy of this Abra here for that ability Teleporter. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you can shuffle it and all attached cards back into your deck. So this is going to be a pretty clever way of constantly shuffling cards back into your deck so that we never lose to decking out. And then we do have the 1 copy of the Psyduck here for that damp ability Pokemon in play for both you and your opponent. Lose any ability that requires the Pokemon using it to knock out itself. So basically we're going to shut down stuff like Dusclops, Dusknoir, and even the Fortress EX. And then lastly, we have the 1 copy of the Earthen Sudowoodo for some retreat lock for the impound attack. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. And then moving on to our trainer cards. For our stadium cards, we have the 2 copies of Artazon. Once during each player's turn, they can search out their deck for a basic Pokemon with no rule box and put it right onto their bench. And then for our ace spec, we have the Neutralization Zone. We get to prevent all damage done to Pokemon that don't have a rule box for both you and your opponent by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EXs. And then for our supporters, we have the 4 copies of the Explorer's Guidance, where we look at the top 6 cards of our deck and put 2 of them into our hand and then discard the other 4. And then lastly, we do run all 4 copies of the Professor Sada's Vitality, where we choose 2 of our ancient Pokemon in play and attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to each of them, as well as we get to draw 3 cards for doing so. And then for our tool cards, we have the 1 copy of the Gravity Gemstone if it's attached to the active Pokemon, and it will increase the retreat cost for both active Pokemon by 1 colorless energy more. As well as we do have the 2 copies of the Handheld Fan when this is attached to a Pokemon in the active spot and that Pokemon takes damage or gets knocked out. We get to move a energy card from the attacking Pokemon to one of their benched Pokemon. And then for our special energies, with the 2 copies of the Jet Energy, which will be a colorless energy and a switching option, all rolled into 1. And then for our basic energies, with the 7 basic fighting energies. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into some games here. Yeah, decent starting hand, I would say. So we did win the coin toss. We decided to go second, had our opponent go first. And looks like no mulligans here. Oh wow, looks like it's going to be the mirror match. What are the odds? They Nest Ball for Koraidon. Well, maybe not 100% of a mirror match, because I don't know why they have Koraidon. Ancient Box. Earthen Vessel. This could be maybe Ancient Box on them. Yeah, let's get Great Tusk. And I guess we'll Jet Energy and then Sada for the last energy card. I can't believe we couldn't get another Great Tusk here. Let's go for land claps. Okay, looks like it's more of a mirror match actually. They have Explorer's Guidance, so it's definitely a mill type deck and not Ancient Box. But you had to put another Koraidon down. I don't know. They play Guidance. So they're going to mill the top 4 cards of our deck. See, they Pokégear, they do find Sada here. Yeah, they're basically the race to the bottom. And they actually switch out here into the Koraidon. I'm not sure why they switched in. Or maybe they'll retreat out for energy cards to get them into the discard pile. No, they go for the knockout actually. Which I'm really shocked. Let's see, let's Pal Pad those Sadas back. And then let's gust up the Great Tusk with no energies. Go for land claps. Not a great discard. Energy switch. Arven. Not even sure what kind of variant they're using here. Yeah, they just switch out, so that was a waste. They go into Koraidon. They Night Stretcher. By Fighting Energy back. Yeah, and that's basically the second Great Tusk they're knocking out. See, let's Super Rod. Gust that Great Tusk again. Use Sada. Pal Pad these Sadas back. Go for land claps. Let's see, down to 13 cards. Also, not that great of a discard. Another 0-6. So they ran 2 0-6 in this deck. And they're down to 12 cards. Yeah, I don't get the Crydons really. They Nest Ball. Hopefully maybe don't have the switch option so we can just keep milling them. Pokegear. Only 11 cards, so chances are, yeah, they do find Sada. Wow, look at all those fighting energies in play. They got 9 fighting energies in that deck at least. They go for land collapse. Wow, they get 2 of our Sadas. See, accompanying flute, nothing. Yeah, let's go for land collapse. Okay, we get rid of 2 of their supporter cards. Arven and Sada. But yeah, they have so many fighting energies in this deck. 9 in play. And then, what, 10? And the 10th energy in the discard. They play Explorer's Guidance. So yeah, they got no cards left in their deck. Yeah, they do use Super Rod though. They get 3 Pokemon back into their deck. Oh wow, they still got another switch option. That is crazy. They go into Koraidon. How many switches was that? At least 3. Yeah, 3 switches at least. Yeah, all we have to do is play Guidance here. Go for land collapse. Yeah, those are the 3 Pokemon they just put into their deck. And they do lose for decking out here. Yeah, there we go. So we did take 1 mulligan here, and our opponent won the coin toss. They decided to go first, had us go second. And I think we'll just put Abra here in front. Really not the greatest starting hand, but let's see. They open with Natu. See, they have Luxurious Cape. Yeah, let's try Pokegear. We get Sada. Yeah, we pretty much have no choice but to go for Guidance here. Yeah, I'm just gonna get the 2 Fighting Gong. And I'm gonna roast Sudowoodo for now. Go for Lunar Cycle. Okay, we got 1 Great Tusk. Yeah, let's pass. See, they play Arven here, so still wondering what this is going to be. I'm guessing this has to be some kind of a Psychic Disruption kind of deck, maybe. I get Buddy Poffin and Hero's Cape for their Ace card. I get 2 Ralts. Yeah, they're kind of struggling to set up here. They attach energy, and they just go for the triple strike. So we're just gonna shuffle Abra back into our deck. With the Teleporter, Artazon. Yeah, let's go for land claps. Pretty decent discard. Get the Night Stretcher and Arven. And they have Prism Energy in this deck. Yeah, so I have no clue what they're doing. Or maybe it's just Mega Gardevoir with Gardevoir EX and the Zatus. I'm gonna just try to get as many energies into play to max out damage, maybe. They put Monkey Dory on the bench. See, they Ultra Ball. Boss and Night Stretcher away. Oh yeah, that's already 3 supporter cards in their 4 supporter cards in their discard. They do get a Zatu here, so they can start drawing up cards with it. Yeah, let's go Lunar Cycle. Yeah, we don't have a supporter card, unfortunately. They are in the deck. I don't know, maybe we should Pal Pad the 2 in their discard. They use Iono for us. I don't mind. That only helps us quite a bit, actually, I feel like. Yeah, we get 3 supporters off the Iono and Pokegear. See, they rare candy up Mega Gardevoir. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why they're going for such high damage here, when it's really easy to knock out the Great Tusk. Yeah, and they go into Mega Gardevoir. Yeah, 500 damage because of the weakness. I don't know, put on Monkey Dory maybe. There really weren't that many great options. Yeah, let's go Land Claps. 2 energies and 2 trainer cards. Yeah, kind of bad that Great Tusk did get prized. It's basically just stuck there because we don't have redeemable ticket to kind of like reshuffle the prizes. So we're kind of trapped with just using 3 Great Tusk only. I don't know, maybe we should use Explorer's Guidance next turn. Yeah, they switch out back into Mega Gardevoir. 12 cards in their deck. But then again, they could use something like Lilies or Iono and just keep going longer and longer for this game. They get Monkey Dory. I don't know why they're benching all these Pokemon. They put Prism Energy on it. Yeah, they just keep using up all the cards in their deck. I don't know. And the Earthen Vessel. So we need Super Rod, Night Stretcher, no. Let's try Guidance maybe. Wow, that's so bad. Neutralization zone, and let's pass. Hoping they can't get rid of it. Because they only got 3 cards in their hand. What are they gonna do? They go for the Iono. Okay, they got 8 cards left in their hand. Let's see, do we get to buy that turn? It looks like we do. Yeah, we get to buy the turn. Let's super rod the 2 Great Tusk, and I guess a Fighting Energy. But then again, we don't have a maybe let's get the Fighting Energy actually to use the Lunar Cycle. Pal Pad 2 Sadas. Yeah, they just concede here. So our opponent did win the coin toss. They decided to go second, had us go first. And it looks like no mulligans here. So not too ideal to go first here, but we can still do something here. Okay, looks like none of the Great Tusks got prize, which is good. Let's use a Fighting Gong. No, I guess get a Fighting Energy for next turn maybe. Yeah, nothing too great here. I don't really want to put Artazon out. Yeah, I think we'll just pass. Because if we put out the Stadium card, they'll be able to attack us with that Assault Landing. So we'll wait for them to actually put the Stadium card out if they want to use their attack. Yeah, they go for the TM Evolution, it looks like. And Lilies. So they get 8 new cards here, since they have still 6 prizes. Okay, looks like it's going to be an Evolution deck. I'm assuming this has to be probably either Flareon, or I feel like Sylveon is very popular for that control style. Okay, they get the Fan Call. So they got 2 Knock Towels. I really wish we had like an Iono or something, but we don't carry any Iono. Yeah, they touch water, so they're definitely going with the Team Evolution, I guess just for the EV. Because there's no point to do this for the Knock Towels. They have to be played from your hand. Yes, it is Sylveon, so I was right. Okay, we finally pick up a Sada here. Yeah, I think we might just pass here. Yeah, here's the Noctowls. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be able to set up the Sylveon in just one turn with Crispin and Sparkling Crystal. Unless they're prized, which, and I doubt it. They even got 2 Noctowls just in case, so... Yeah, there's Crispin. See, is it Sparkling Crystal? It has to be. I don't know why they didn't get on the first Noctowl. They're definitely building up the suspense here by taking so long. Yeah, they do have it still in the deck. Yeah, so it's literally a control deck versus control here. Yeah, they attach Sparkling, so they're definitely going for the Angel Light. They're probably going to shuffle, I guess, the 2 Great Tusks with the energies on them. Like, I don't know if that'd waste time, I guess, on the Solrock, because it doesn't have any energy cards on it. It's not really a threat. And they really have pretty much no... Okay, I was gonna say they have no incentive to attack, but they do go for the attack, actually. Really strange. Really strange. That's Artazon. Yeah, I kind of feel like they misplayed there. And let's get the Lunatone. Maybe try Gravity Gemstone, and I don't know, let's gust up the Noctowl. Play Guidance. Yeah, Accompanying Flute's really not going to do us much. Yeah, let's go for land claps. Pretty interesting. They're running Leafeon here also. Kind of surprised. So it looks like maybe it's just a evolution toolbox kind of deck. They're kind of probably running a good chunk of the evolutions and just not only Sylveon. Let's see if they concede here. We kind of got them trapped here. They would need a switching option or a Jet Energy or something to move the Noctowl out. They got Arven. Because they're not going to waste a Crispin attaching 2 energies to Noctowl, in my opinion. But they do Arven, so they got Counter Catcher and Air Balloon. Okay, so they're just going to Air Balloon out here. And they got another Sylveon. So yeah, now we have to just try, I guess, the other Noctowl. They Night Stretcher. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't get rid of our Stadium card. I'm assuming they still have Stadiums in their deck because there's no way they're not running any at all. Like, I really think they have the Area Zero, most likely. Yeah, I'm not going to gust the other Sylveon because they can literally build it up in one turn of Crispin. I feel like we can just gust the other Noctowl. Is quite enough. Yeah, let's put Handheld Fan. You know, now let's Pal Pad the 2 Sadas. Gust up the other Noctowl. Is there anything in Artazon? I think... Yeah, there's nothing really here. Yeah, let's go for the land claps. Yeah, nothing too good. And they only have 2 energies in the discard. Yeah, they're retreating out. Back into Sylveon. Ooh, interesting, they gust us here. I'm guessing for Great Tusk, because they just don't want to lose the energy card, I guess with the Handheld Fan maybe. Now they get the Lunatone. Ooh, and they do go for the Angelite. So yeah, let's Jet Energy here. And Night Stretcher. A Great Tusk back. Yeah, and guess Noctowl again. Nice, 3 energies. That's pretty good. That was probably the best top deck discard we got in the whole game, I'd say. 3 energy cards, and we got their Area 0. They played Crispin, so let's see what's left in the deck. They don't get nothing off of Crispin. So it looks like they got no energies left in the deck, it would seem like. Because they didn't add any cards to their hand either, so they weren't able to search out either energy card to attach or put in their hand. They play Switch, so I think we should be good here. They could have another Stadium card though, because they only have the 1 Area 0, so... Yeah, let's put Handheld Fan. And I'm still gonna save Neutralization Zone for later. No counter catcher though. Oh no, let's put it down now. They literally got 12 cards in their deck. We're gonna mill for another Area 0. That is perfect. Perfect. That must be the second one. They can't have more than 2, I think. And they've pretty much run dry on energy cards as well. So let's see what they do. They boss us. I'm guessing they're gonna use the Angelite this turn. Yeah. They are going for the Angelite. See, let's use Lunar Cycle. Yeah, they just concede here. Well, those are all of the games. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.